started because I don't want to get into the gist of things and there's no sound, right? Started because. All right, go. Cool. Okay. First off, happy Saturday, y'all. How are you doing? Or whenever you're watching this, greetings. Hello. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Saturn Day, right? Let me see here. So I'm gonna do a collective dive here, as well. So we're gonna do an energy read, divination, tap in, and then, well, before we get started, I do want to just touch on some things, some energy, outside of the cards. I mean, we're divining the entire time. We're tapping in. Some of it will be just like sharing of experience, maybe. Um, just kind of things that I've witnessed, experienced, explored, maybe even assisted and helped other people with. I'm trying to get this old candle out of my candle holder and it will not, just won't do it. So yeah, I'm a tap in here because I do have some insights. At first, this disclaimer, y'all, when I do love messages and love readings, I like to come from a grounded perspective. A grounded and divine perspective. I don't believe in spiritual bypassing, thinking that, oh, everything has to be love and light and this commercial bullshit of trends and stuff like that. Like, I don't resonate with that. So that's not the approach that I'll be taking. We're not going to do that. So if you're into that, I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of just like a fair disclaimer, fair warning. So yeah, this is an energy more so like to hold space for all types of connections, but whether that be what we call twin flames or soulmates, karmics, whatever, situationships, whatever, right? Um, so no matter whatever it is that you're asking about, like everyone's welcome that's meant to be here, right? If you're meant to be here, you're meant to be here. Um, and you're most definitely welcome. So I read energy not from a place of fantasy. So I will honor, the heart of a situation, our hearts, things like that. But I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, right? So my job isn't here to confirm anybody's fantasies or hopes or anything like that. It's just to only reflect what's coming through. So whether it does reflect a hope or fantasy that you have already, like if it aligns with truth, then that's what's going to be. So this energy is just offering as a mirror. Okay. So I am going to tap into your energy. I'm going to tap into your divine counterpart's energy. Now, when I say your counterpart, does not necessarily mean that it's someone that you're thinking about, because that might not be your divine counterpart at the end of the day. So I want to tap into the essence, the truth of whoever your person is. Now, if it matches, possibly that is your person that you have in mind, or it's a similar energy or archetype, which is why discernment is very important. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm going to tap into your energy, your divine counterpart's energy, the truth between the two of you. You don't have to know who your person is. They don't have to know who you are yet, but you guys are connected, right? So yeah, we're going to confirm what we need to. We're going to clarify what we need to. And if there's anything that needs closure that's needed, let's do it. Okay. Let's do it with an open heart. Okay. So we're going to do this with emotional honesty. Okay. And of course, with spiritual reflection, we cannot do this without introspection and reflection. So, this reading, may it serve you. Okay. May it serve you. All right. I do want to like touch on why divine counterparts are needed at this time. Um, why like divine unions are, you know, bigger than just like, how do I explain it? Bigger than like just the romantic aspect of it. So I do want to um tap into that, right? So I do feel like spirit A long time ago. Like I always say this, if you guys are new to my channel, you probably are new to this information or this tidbit about me. But if you've been on my channel long enough, you guys would know like I started my channel off as doing twin flame readings. So I always felt like I was called to be a voice for a divine, or one of the voices out here in the universe, the planet, whatever, in the world to speak on divine connections and healing and, healing past certain experiences and things like that. So not because love is a distraction, right? Because I wrestle with that a little bit. Like, ooh, I don't want to talk about love because, like, what if it's like a distraction for people, But it's all the way like the intent and the way we go about it. But love is not a distraction, really, in hindsight, because love is truly the foundation of all things. So, love itself, not just the romantic aspects between two partners, but love in itself. So, when two people do align in spirit, like with the divine source, God, Holy Spirit, it does heal, more than just their relationship. It heals families, it can heal communities, it can break generational cycles, it can build legacies, you know what I mean? Like life-changing energy. So I know what it's like to feel like all of this shit is pointless. Like, just love itself, take the labels, take the spiritual woo-woo, whatever out of it. Like sometimes it feels like it's pointless for real. Like I've been there. But every time that I wanted to quit, because sometimes like I know I should be like speaking on divine connections. I continue that and help people with that. But there's times where I do need to sit it out and take a break. Um, so spirit does remind me that healing and love is not necessarily like a luxury, it's a necessity, especially for this next generation, for real. Like love is really it's powerful. And again, love that expands not just between two people in a romantic sense, but just love of self, love of God, love of your ancestors, love of like your communities, your tribe, humanity, children, animals, the environment, so on and so forth. So it's not a distraction. It's actually very powerful. It's a very powerful source for life itself. So you know, a healthy aligned connection or union, they produce healthy energy. They produce healthy children, healthy communities, healthy legacies, a healthier environment, right? For what we can, contribute to. So that's why it gets attacked. And I'll kind of go into that a little bit more. But yeah, divine unions and partnerships and love get attacked for sure. You know what I'm saying? And um I feel certain communities they get attacked with their love as well to cause division and separation. um I do believe in that as well, you know and that's why God keeps placing it on my heart to speak about divine connections. So I feel like my mission here is just to assist, guide, and encourage those on the path, to divine love. Divine love is like, if you take it outside of like the new age concepts of what divine partnership, but just divine means what's connected to source God, right? What's the closest to godly love. And that love extends past romance, it extends past just two people. um so through prophecy, divine partnership is important. Through spiritual alignment, divine partnerships are important. Through honest conversations about the waiting, the wanting, the healing, the becoming, like all of that is important. So it's not about fairy tales, okay? And I do feel like sometimes what we deem as healthy, we put it on a title of fantasy, because if we're not used to something healthy, a love that is pure, you might put it in the category of, this is a fantasy, this is like a fairy tale, this cannot happen, this does not exist, right? And that's sad, because the healing. And that's why when I touch on partnerships, I don't want to keep it surface level. Like I do open myself up as a vessel to tap into, like, what do we need to heal, because that's the most important thing. To attract anything from your soul and your heart, you have to be at a certain place within your heart space to even receive energy. So when it comes to love, such as a divine, like a true connection, and I'm not talking about just passion and sex, and they make you feel good, and because a lot of people that think they're dealing with a divine connection or divine counterpart, they're really just dealing with lust. They're dealing with woundedness and trauma bonding and things like that. It's not really a healthy container of support and protection and love and growth and evolution in it. um it does, like, one thing that I will say, like, when you encounter someone that makes you feel that fire inside, that passion, where you want that person and nothing else, and you're very passionate, it's nothing that anybody can say or do. That person could be a terrible person, and you'll be like, but I care about them, I love them, and that might very well be true. But I feel like the thing is that some people never reach that place of evolution because they stay stuck at a certain level with a person that's not evolving, because they sparked you and you feel that connection. But if that person does not choose themselves, which is why I feel like a lot of people identify with the twin flame, because the twin flame energy, or what it's depicted to be and expressed as an experience that we may find ourselves resonating with, is that passion that what ignites in you. It makes you feel alive. It's meant to jolt you, it's meant to awaken you, yes. But if it's not an energy where both parties are evolving simultaneously, then that person becomes your block, right? So can you surpass the stage of this runner chaser energy and choose yourself? Because whatever you're chasing is going to continuously flee from you. If it's something that aligns with you, both energies will magnetize, and people get stuck in this loop, you know? And until you surpass that level, because you can't be the only person growing and changing and healing and aligned with where you're supposed to be in life, or trying to get there while somebody else is constantly doing the same shit, because they will pull you down. Some might say that's a karmic energy. Yes. And I do feel like a lot of people that think they're in divine counterpart energies, they're really dealing with someone that is a mirror to their wounds and their trauma that they need to work through, that they need to close, the closure energy. So again, like, this isn't about fairy tales in a sense of fantasy and illusion, like everything is just going to fall into your lap and everything's just going to be perfect. Like, no, that's not what divine counterparts are about. It's not what true divine connection with people in your life in general, not just romantically, because you can have divine connections with your soul tribe, with your family, meaning that it's divinity, it's a love that is divine. Does that make sense? So it's about more so purpose. It's about alignment. It's about preparing for the kind of love that transforms not only your life, yourself, but the world around you for real. Like, that's the biggest thing, you know. Um so I do want to touch on real quick before we even get into the reading, because this is the introduction. This is a message within a message. And I know, like, if you're just here for entertainment, you just want to see cards pulled, this is not a circus, okay? It's not a gypsy table, okay? If that's all you came here for, you're probably going to miss out on the meat and potatoes of it, because the cards is just an illustration of energy. Um, so why why are divine unions needed, and why do they get attacked, is like one of the biggest things that I sit with, and I ask myself, like, I know to an extent why they get attacked. Of course, I feel like we probably would all come to that similar conclusion as to why divine unions, um why pure love energy, why unity as a whole and gets attacked, where diverse, or um division, excuse me, not diversity, division is heavily pushed, right? Wars, whether it's gender wars, whether it's race wars, whether it's ageism wars, whatever. So why is needed, why is divine unions needed in this realm, especially during this time? And I do feel like there's something with 2027. Let me do my calculations, because if 2026 is the year of the one, then 2027 should be the year of the two, right? Yeah, so actually it's 11. That even more so speaks of divine union, right? And awakening, as a community, as a collective, to come together. So 2027, if you think about it, 2 plus 2 is 4, and then you have the 7, which is 11. Um, and 11, essentially 1 plus 1 is 2. So yeah, it's the year of the partnerships. I do believe that. I don't want to jump too far ahead into the future, but that's what I'm getting. Um, but yeah, so it's an application of light work, a light in work, like illumination, um, deep soul work. So when two people who are healed or actively healing, they're not just adding their light to each other's life, they amplify it. And you know that that biblical scripture is coming to me. Some of you guys might know it, but it's like, when two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst. So it's like spirit is also a part of the union. So if you see, and it was the reason why I started this live at 111, because 111, I feel like, is a spark of two partnerships and divine source God in the midst of that connection, which is that perfect trinity. That the number three sometimes is like the energy of perfect alignment, right? You know how some people say it comes in threes, whether it's like a scary omen or whether it's a positive omen, like spiritual confirmation or just perfect alignment. So yeah, you multiply the energies. So their combined vibration, it does have a ripple effect, and it does affect the people around them. So again, like family, community, even the collective consciousness. I know I get inspired when I witness like true divine love, that it does inspire me to see that. Because if you're bombarded by this, you know, men and women can't get along, or partners can't get along. Everybody's talking about there's no real love out here. You can't trust nobody. Everybody's for themselves. It will make you feel discouraged if you're someone that is a lover deep down in your heart. Like when I say lover, not just a romantic lover, but you're a lover of people. You're a lover of the divine, the universe, nature, all things, right? So in ancient traditions, like sacred marriage was never really about just the couple. It was actually um a deeper template or a container for anchoring in like divine principles. So whether that was balance, whether it was justice, whether it was compassion, whether it was just like restructuring, it was very important to have a king and a queen, or an emperor and an empress. Like it brings balance and structure in the family, even in royal families, like the presentation, even if the inside of their infrastructure is not perfect, but what the world sees is, this is balance, this is order. You know what I'm saying? So um it's really about balance. Hey, cosmic airhead. Happy Saturday to you too. Hey. Divine unions also embody the essence of yin and yang, masculine and feminine principles, regardless of what gender it manifests itself in, just those energies, heaven and earth, spiritual and physical. The feminine energy represents the spiritual realm, represents the unseen, represents that push, that creative force, that muse, that drive. Whereas the masculine is the energy that actually implements it, that actually, yeah, they put the action and the energy behind it. They ground it in the physical sense. So you can't have one without the other, for real. They model a healthy like integration of energies, right? Like really, that's what it is. So something that I feel like is fractured currently right now in our culture. Like we desperately need to see a energy balance like played out, because like men nowadays, like it's really sad. Like some of them really like really are resting in their femininity. Like they don't want to like their the energy of masculinity is it's been like kind of tainted a little bit. It's very rare to find like a true person that moves in true masculinity. And I feel like the toxic masculinity is something that people perceive as what true masculinity is. So like tyrant energy, self-centered. Um, I need someone that's a subordinate. I need control, um, force, violence, hypersexuality, um, so on and so forth. Yeah, like that energy. This is That is totally out of alignment. It totally is. Where the feminine energy, there's no place for the feminine to be sovereign, which is also out of order. To try to diminish that, try to suppress that sovereignty of the feminine energy, like that's not in alignment either. Where would we be without the mother? Like for real. So to suppress that feminine essence, that energy, and when I say mother, not so much a physical, literal birthing sense, but the essence and energy of creation. Where would we be without that? Um, so when we stand in like our spiritual gifts, and man or woman, they stand their ground, or they stand, or a person stands within their masculinity, together you become a bridge between realms for real. Um, Also to like repatterning, I kind of touched on it lightly, like legacy wise, like these unions can rewrite like generational patterns, like when it comes to children, when it comes to communities, even if the couple decide to do creative work or do some sort of spiritual work or community work or what have you, their purpose and the other person coming together in their purpose. I feel like that's one thing that's very important in divine connections, is that they already have like their purpose. They know who they are as a person. They understand their identity, or they're learning and like actively moving in that, and their person is. And when it's two people that are in alignment, in a sense, like it helps amplify their own purpose and their gifts. Like it helps to pour into, it helps to amplify and grow it, even help through the evolution of it, rather than suppress it, rather than demonize it, criticize it, work against it, um, be a block. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, like, again, like, there's certain key things that will let you know you're in a divine connection. And this also expands in your soul tribe. If you can't be your authentic self around certain people that you call family, that you call friends, and this is kind of a touchy subject, because the people that we call family by blood, they're not in soul and essence really your family for real. If you think about it, like some of them are not. You know, it's a blessing to have blood related family where y'all are thick as thieves for real, and like you guys are truly like soul connected, versus where people are kind of just in karmic relationships with family, so-called people that they are family, that they share blood with. So if you can't be your authentic self, and you don't have a safe space to be poured into, and to um be pushed to elevation and growth, and to support and feel safe and protected in that fold. Because the true tribe, when I think about tribe and I think about community, everyone in that tribe has something that they contribute to the community, where it's all an important fold, especially in indigenous culture, where it's like everyone has something special about them, and that the community as a whole pours that into, that is a part of the greater map, versus like in some family dynamics, it's always got to be a golden child, or there's a scapegoat, there's a black sheep of the family, there's like competitiveness, there's favoritism, there's you know even competitiveness against mothers, against their daughters or their children, or they don't like their kids because of the parent that they chose to be with. It is all this toxic generational stuff, right? So even in a divine union with people in general, not just romantically, they must hold space for you in your process of growing. They must be um, a, a part of pouring into you and your gift, just as you would others. Like we all should be pouring into each other, right? As a community, as a tribe. And if it's any point where someone pours poison into it, or tries to cap it before the plant can grow, then that's not your people. Same thing with a romantic partner. If you have to bend and fold to get along with somebody, or they have to do the same, or you require somebody to be different just so you guys can, oh, if only. And what I'm saying, like, not things that are toxic. I'm not saying like a person that is operating in an unhealthy way, that shouldn't be called out, right? If it's something that's workable, something that's changeable, something that's actively being worked on, that's different. But if it's like the core of who you are, what makes you you, what makes you a favored individual, what your birthright is, your divine identity is, and you feel like you cannot express that or be that, and this person does not like it, will not allow it, or they try to like sun you, make you feel some type of way, then that's not the people for you. That's not your person, especially if it's divine. They're going to pour into it. They're going to pour into it. And some people don't even give a fuck about their purpose. They don't care about, do I have a purpose in life? Or some people don't even care about their future, their destiny for real. And I'm not talking to those type of people. You know, you cannot be in anything of a divine source, of a divine purpose, divine mission, divine calling, divine connection, divine tribe, whatever, without a purpose, without some sort of mission. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. Every connection, I believe, has an assignment on it, whether it's assignment to kill, steal, and destroy a person's life or whatever, their future, or whether it's assignment to contribute, to help evolve, to help grow, to pour into one another. So this emergence, like when a divine partnership comes together, the emergence is actually like, it brings about a new frequency rather than these old trauma loops, these old karmic loops. So that's why spirit prepares certain people for years before allowing them to actually meet their person, you know, before you can meet them physically, or just like, let's say, because there are circumstances where I do believe people will meet their person years before they can actually fully come together or even meet in the physical sense. But some don't know their person in physical form yet. Like, they don't even know the person's face, the name, you know what I mean? Like, they don't know about them. They know that there's someone that exists for them, but they may not know the fine details of who that person is. So with that, I feel, you know, spirit works on us before we are put in the vicinity of our person. Because if our energy repels it, and I spoke about this the other night, like, we can't be out here entertaining a counterfeit saying we want a divine partner, because your energy is not allowing that, you know, it's not allowing the space. There's no open room or space for a divine partner. You know what I'm saying? If you're entertaining the vibration of, that means you're more so in alignment and frequency, vibration, or whatever, with the counterfeit energy. Like, you're entertaining something. It's almost like you're saying, you're speaking out of your lips, or even maybe even your heart, going, I want a real love. I want my person. I want somebody that really loves me, that somebody that's available to me, X, Y, and Z, whatever. But then you're entertaining somebody that you know is not emotionally available, or maybe it's just for fun for you right now as you wait. But what you're doing is like, your vibration is in sync with that lower vibration of love, or the falseness of love and connection. Therefore, a real connection really can't penetrate your energy field because it's not open for it. So like, we can debate this all day and be like, I'm just having fun. I'm not, you know, I want my person, but in the meantime, I just, okay, I, okay, you know, I ain't gonna fight you on that. Have fun with that. But that is a block. That's just saying, vibrationally, that is a block. You can spin that another way and like break it down in a way like you can fuck around and waste your time, and then your person just pops up. Let me know how to like master that, because yeah, I just don't see how that vibrationally just doesn't make sense. um but yeah, that's a block. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, that's why spirit prepares certain people before, you know, years before they even meet their person. Like, you could have just went through like a devastating breakup with somebody, or you finally broke the illusion, spell, or limerence of a person that maybe you thought was your person, and then you had to deconstruct all of that. You had to break all that shit down. You had to like start from scratch with yourself. You might have felt like you were kind of delusional. Maybe you're a little disappointed in yourself. Maybe you felt shame, but you had to work through all of that, you know? And maybe currently are working through that. And that's a beautiful thing, because that means that you're preparing yourself for the real thing. And with that comes you choosing yourself first. You got to do that. That's So why are these connections being attacked? Let's touch on that and then we'll get into the reading. So if this is resonating so far, this information or whatever, this insight resonates with you, it is helpful, by all means, like this video. I would greatly appreciate that for the energetic exchange. Thank you. So why they're being attacked? Because the energetic disruption, an energetic disruption of what these unions are, like anything that raises the collective's vibration, that automatically threatens systems that are built on fear, that are built in division, that are built in control. So separation is easier to manage rather than unity because it there's no threat to the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like to darker energy. If I if I was to put this into, there's a couple of movies that kind of speak on this. I think Hancock is one, but I've never personally watched it fully, so I can't tell you that. But like one of them is with Neo and Trinity in the Matrix Trinity movies. So it's funny because I think it's a fourth one now. I have not watched that one. When it was just a Trinity, you could see the warfare in the Union. One thing that stood out to me, and I like this is wow, it's like a revelation right now. uh Neo was like, he kept seeing the number 333 or three, I think it was 333. He kept seeing the threes, and it's three viewers right now. That's funny. That's confirmation. Um, he kept seeing this number, and he was invited to go to this like underground club or something like that, and he met Trinity. Trinity means three, right? Again, confirmation, perfect alignment, order. Um, so when he met her, that's when like everything unfolded for him. When it came to his journey, when it came to his awakening, his deconstruction, it started with her. And once he chooses to be on mission, right? You've been seeing three today everywhere. Yeah, I recently like started seeing it again, like that number three. Yeah, but yeah, when he chose to awaken and when he aligned with his path or trying to figure out what his purpose, what his mission was, him and Trinity joined forces. Like she would be there at certain specific times that was needed, even though he had his own battles to confront. Right. So again, like you're still, Neo represents the one. So again, the number one does represent self. It could represent identity. It could represent wholeness and fullness. Even though he does have a divine partnership, he has divine helpers. He had Morpheus, things like that. He had the Oracle. He had other people on his team. He still, as an individual, has his own responsibility and purpose for his own experience, his own life. And that's the same thing with divine counterparts. Do not mistake it as codependency, because that's not what it's meant to be. Right. Um, so basically, yeah, like anything that challenges or raise the vibration of the collective, it will be attacked. So attacks can look like distractions put in your path, in your way, could look like temptations, financial constraints, could be family drama, like issues with your like depression, things like that, health issues, and other type of like internal insecurities and doubts. You'll be attacked in the mind, you'll be attacked in your identity, your future. Oh, the energy of despair. Oh, there's nothing's ever going to work out for me. Like it'll attack those areas, those specific things in your life. So attacks are not always like blatant in your face. Sometimes it's vibrational. That's where it starts. Most definitely in the mind. So all of these are designed to pull the union apart before it's actually ever anchored. So in the beginning of a union, you must be careful with this. When you're really in a divine union, it is something, because I feel like we have to be careful with this distinct like being able to discern between this is spirit pulling me away from something to protect me versus when it's an actual literal spiritual attack. So I feel like that's something because we might always say, "Oh, my friends don't want to see me happy," because they might be talking some sense into you and might be able to reason with you where you might be emotionally too attached and you're under the spell of this person emotionally that you can't discern things. But the people that really love you, they'll be able to call it out. But if you're so deep in your illusion, it'll feel like an attack. Oh, they don't want us together. Or you're dealing with a no good man already or no good woman and like they got somebody else on the side and you might think that that person outside of your so-called union is a threat when actually that shouldn't even be a thing. If that person was really for you, they wouldn't have you in some mess. It's another thing. Real attacks is when two people that are in healthy union, they will have temptations where men or women trying to come at them, trying to get with them, exes trying to get back, people throwing themselves at them, other people trying to project literally jealousy sometimes. Like there's ways that it can happen in the genesis of your connection before you even meet. Sometimes blockages such as like, let's say you guys are it's like your first time meeting up or your first date with your person, there might be a lot of delays, like things like happening to stop you. And again, always discern because sometimes that is spirit protecting you, like telling you don't go. And if you already have a bad feeling about a situation and doesn't feel right in your gut, then that is a sign that it's not for you. But if it's like something you're like, what the fuck, like it's just so weird, like why is this happening, while you guys are trying to connect and it's just like all this weird stuff happening. um and I noticed too, like whenever a person is moving on in their life, they're happy, they're focusing on themselves, or they have some sort of goals that they're trying to accomplish, or good things are popping off for them, or they may have met someone new. Old people, whether it's like exes, family members that you cut off, friends that you cut off, or something like that. Like these old energies will try to represent themselves again in your life or maybe your person's life. Those are attacks for sure. Even when you're not in a union, like if you're trying to do good in your life and you're trying to progress, and then you get this temptation to fall back into old energy or old temptations present itself, or people that you know are no good for you, or people that you cut off, that is an assignment to stop your progress. So you gotta be careful with that. You gotta be mindful of that. Um, yeah, so like old patterns and like even spiritual energies, like these attacks and things like that, they also, again, like I said, come through trauma. Like if you deal with abandonment wounds, as soon as like you open yourself up to the idea of somebody coming into your life, you block it through fear and say, oh, I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not ready. Because we can cause our own delays. Or if you're dating somebody that's like they may not be your divine counterpart, but it's somebody that's healthy, to date at the time. I'm glad this is on a spot on. Thank you. Um, when you like open yourself up to that, then these thoughts start to creep in. Oh, they didn't text me fast enough. So then you start spiraling, and then you might sabotage, you might pull away and think, I can't trust this. That's your fear. That's your trauma talking. That's why it's important now to work through your healing and continue to do that, because you don't want to block blessings, not just in romantic sense or partnerships, but like opportunities just in general in life, to start fresh, to start new, or to further walk in that. And if you deal with identity where you question, your worth, or you deal with like the orphan spirit where you never felt like you quite belong anywhere, even in your own household, or in your environment growing up, you never felt safe to be yourself. You'll cloak that part of yourself because you feel like it's not safe to be yourself. You feel like it's not safe to show emotion, show vulnerability, or to show your intellect, or to show your beauty or your attractiveness, or show your wits, show your quirkiness. Like you'll cloak that because you feel like it will be a threat to share that. So when you're dealing with old patterns, these could be silent attacks that the enemy or dark forces, whatever you want to call it, low vibrational energies or whatever, they will play on that. um Old karmic contracts, like I said, like ex partners, or unhealed people coming back, trying to show up right before your union is solidified, or right before you meet somebody, or right before a blessing comes, or just when you're in the thick of it. So this is both a test, but it's also an attempt to sabotage your path or sabotage your blessing or your favor. So lower vibrational energies, they do feed on chaos, they feed on depression, they feed on fear, they fear, or they do fear you, but yes, they feed on like your depression, your doubt. So when two aligned people starve that chaos or that dark energy, because chaos energy is not necessarily bad per se, but let's say like demonic low vibrational, I don't know how it's the word, but like not good, right, energy, um that comes in and tries to attack you. So when you align with yourself and you fight that battle, because this is where I'm going to go back to the Neo thing, where he has that final battle scene with the agents and they multiply. He starts to get smarter in his technique and in his fight with the agent, starts to outsmart it. So it's like you understand the patterns, you understand the attacks, you'll be able to work against it. When a thought comes up, it's like, you start to discern what is it. You ask yourself, is this fear? Is this a loop of what happened? Because I had asked myself this the other day with something like, I had to ask myself, where is this stemming from? And then I said, oh, it's a fear because somebody else dealt with something similar. Like, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to apply to my situation. That was then, this is now. Um, and other factors that I was trying to tie it into, like, feed that fear really, to where I had to see, like, okay, that's a fucking fear. So like you got to catch on to certain things like before you sabotage yourself. So human projection is also a big thing. Like I was just saying, like it can happen through your own, in like your own self. You can project things to yourself. That's not good, right? But you can have people that project their envy, their disbelief, or their mockery onto certain couples who live at a certain high vibrational frequency. And one, I will say, I don't know them personally, so I can't say that it is everything is what it seems, because nothing is really ever what it seems. But I do believe that there's genuine love, genuine partnership. I'm going to use the singer Sierra and her husband, the football player Russell Wilson, as just an example of this. How people attack their foundation, because Sierra, in a lot of men's eyes, is a woman that should have not been picked or chosen to marry. Should not have a man that chose to raise a child that's not his, and then continue to have more children with her and be with her in a healthy union and celebrate her as she celebrates him. It's almost like, oh, she was just a baby mama. She deserved to like put up with Future probably and keep going back and forth with him, or meet another low vibrational dude that don't give a fuck about her, take care of his kids, like, you know what I'm saying, like things like that. So people attack when they call him corny. They say, oh, he's corny, and oh, he's wrong for, taking the other man. I would never do that. And you got to look at the source of the people that's saying these things. It's like, these are men you probably would never even want to date anyway, that's saying this shit. Like, this is what I say, like, false masculinity presents itself versus a healthy masculine energy. It takes a man that has a heart, because like, this is how I see it. And I know some women might not agree with this, because I understand, as a single mother, like I understand how another woman would probably feel uncomfortable with a man that has children with another woman, right? Because you're wondering, oh, is he always going to go back and forth with her? Even men might say, oh, I don't want to date her because what if her and her ex, they still go back and forth with each other, what if she's still stuck on that? Whereas like there's genuinely people that have moved on and healed from that, don't want nothing to do with their exes, right? And some people don't have a heart for children for real like that. Because if I think about it from this perspective, like if I was to meet a man that was my person and he has a child, if he's a respectful man and he doesn't have no baby mama drama, he's not allowing that energy to like get in his space, there's no energy attachments with her other than the fact they have a child, if the children ain't did nothing to me, I would care for that child as if they were my own, because I love children. I don't look at kids and be like, oh, that ain't my kid. Like that's not in me. And like a man that I feel like also has a heart and sees family as family. Like if I love you, your child is my child, you know? I'm taking them, and like that is that's divine masculinity versus a man is like, oh, that ain't my kid. I'm not raising, like that's ugly as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of men that come in your house that just want to be with you. They don't care if the kids had anything to eat. They just want to smash. They just want to lay up with you. Like that is ugly. That's so immature and it's just so dark to me. So yeah, like if you see people that are actually to align people, you know, they got healthy family, they're, you know, maybe healthy friendships in their life, they're these people will become energies of resistance against that. Because if you're wounded and you're seeing something healthy and you're not actively healing or you're not working, because sometimes you might get triggered, you might be like, maybe you're not really jealous of the people. You're just like, well, why can't I have something like that? Where's my fairy tale? Where's my Prince Charming? Where is my princess at? Where's my queen at? Right. And you might feel that envy, but you got to challenge that energy within yourself and heal something there because that's what it's there to show you. Anytime we get triggered, it's reflecting something within us maybe that we need to work through. Right. So instead of attacking that, because I feel like a lot of the men that do attack that said relationship that I just used as an example, it's really because it challenges their un their unaddressed trauma, their false sense of what masculinity is. Because we've been taught hypersexuality. He's corny because he chose to love a woman that did not have the support of her father's child and took that said child in and loved him as his own. Whereas if that were me, I'd be like, fuck that. That ain't my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like that toxic masculinity energy. They celebrate the futures because, oh, he got hella bitches. Oh, he got baby mamas. And that hypersexuality looks like manhood to a lot of men. But no, that's mental illness. That's mental illness, right? That's to have multiple homes and things like that and rotating between women. That's a cesspool of just fucked up energy, just disgusting. That's not a sound man, but a man that is sound and says, no, this is my wife and I love her. I love her son. He's my son. We have a family. We have kids. We're doing this. We're doing that. We celebrating each other. That's corny to them. Like, what? And that shows you that's mental illness. To say that that's corny or that's, we'll see how long it lasts. And it's hateration projection too. Oh, we'll see how long that lasts. That's mental illness. To think that a structured family dynamic is fake or it's corny, is lame, but you think that a man is dipping and diving into all these different women, has all these different kids everywhere, that's the man, right? It's disgusting for real. Like it's crazy as hell. Um, but yeah. So really with divine unions, they mirror back the things and people oftentimes with they have not healed. You know, whether it inspires them to change, inspires them to something deeper, something greater, then yeah. Um, but yeah, so I wouldn't say the divine unions are under attack because they're fragile or because they're weak or it's more so that it's actually the opposite. Is they're under attack because they are very potent and very strong. When two strong individuals come together, even more powerful. Every distraction, every delay or challenge is actually a part of your training as your human self on this planet because like you know the warfare just as a single person. That's another thing. You know the warfare even in that just alone. So just imagine two people that are really like spiritually sovereign and divine. And that's one thing too about the spiritual path. People talk about, oh, I'm chosen, I'm this, I'm that. But like the warfare though, do you understand the warfare that comes with that title? It's not about being special. It's just higher responsibility, higher awareness, higher discernment is needed. Discipline is needed. Integrity is needed to walk as a chosen one. It's not just something that you just, oh, I'm just that. No. So two people that have that frequency, that energy, they ain't nothing to play with for real. Even if you think, oh, we're just some cute little couple, whatever. No. Mm-mm. So, sharpening your discernment, your boundaries, and your ability to protect what's sacred, that is the training field. So, when you and your partner learn to navigate that on your own and even together, the union becomes deeply unshakable for real. Deeply. Um, I had to ask this question and sit with this. I asked this question. I said, um, during these times that we're in, and I use the word end times because I don't know why. I just felt guided to use the word end time, and it might not be the same end time as like what a Christian person would say is end time, an end time, or like the apocalypse or whatever. But like the end of an era or age, or just the deconstructing of whatever, right? Why would divine unions between two lovers be important to the point where, quote unquote, the system would come against it, would want to rise up against it? And again, going back to divine unions activate power. So at its core, true divine union isn't just about romance. Like, like I said, it's an energetic technology, really. Two beings that are aligned in spirit, they're aligned in their purpose, their frequency, they are going to create this energy field that amplifies creation itself. So when love is divine, it meaning it's a healed connection, it's pure, it is anchored in service to the source, to the all, whether you call it God, whether you call it universe. It becomes an unstoppable current of like manifestation of healing, rebellion against the illusion, against the system, like I said. um so why is it dangerous to the system? Is simply because like two awakened people that are in sync, they generate more of a like this, if you were thinking, like, think about it as a computer system or something like that, and you have these two energies that volt, like this voltage of energy, it's going to spark something. It might even blow that old computer system up because it's so powerful. That source is so powerful that the entire institutions that are built on control, it threatens everything. So this is why when, spiritual people say, when, or religious or Christians, when they quote the scripture that I was quoting, when two or more are gathered together, in truth, that means that spirit is present in the midst of them. It's not just them. Now you got, and not just spirit, like source God, but you got the angels, right? You got, let's say you got your dragon forces, you got your ancestors, you got like every, like your high council, you got different legions of angels. Like, come on, your higher selves, that's very powerful. It's not just you walking. It's not just your person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's tough stuff right there. So divine love isn't just sentimental. It's really a portal. It's a whole army. It's a whole like deeper organization. So as the system runs on the divisiveness and separation, like the falseness is like, whether we call these control structures governments, whether it's spiritual institutions, whether it's like digital warfare, psychological, they use these divisive things like men versus women, or heart versus logic, flesh versus spirituality, self versus God, whatever they gonna use, religion versus spirituality, whatever they gonna want to use. Okay, so when lovers heal and they unify, that collapses this shit in real time. So imagine if we like had more podcasts with divine couples talking, how healing that would be for people, rather than consuming these, oh, I hate all men ain't shit, women run duck for cover, oh, all women ain't shit, they need to submit, they need to lay down, they're gonna be single with cats and shit, like all this dumb, you know oh, women after a certain age, they didn't hit the wall, they're useless, they're worthless. Women of this race, this color, this size, they're worthless, they're not desirable, they're not the, like, when we get rid of that bullshit, like imagine if that was in existence, and then these divine partner connections, unions, that they share their experiences and they're speaking to the masses and they're helping each other. Or if you had men single-handedly talking in, as divine masculine women and women, or feminine energies coming in talking under their divine feminine sovereignty to other women and men, or just people in general, how that would attack the opposite side, that divisive side. It wouldn't be as loud because people really, the collective needs healing. The collective wants healing, and there's some that just in general just need it. So it would challenge a lot of people. It would trigger, but I feel like most people would gravitate towards, and they say, oh, people like negative stuff. They like to consume. Yeah, because a lot of people are in sickness. They're depressed. They have low self-esteem. They have not healed. So of course they're going to consume things that feed into that. It takes you deciding within yourself that this shit, enough is enough of this energy. And it does require you to stand up and like start to unpack. And that's courageous within itself. Because not a lot of people have the courage to unpack themselves, because it's not an easy task. It can be very painful. It can be doubtful sometimes. You can look at yourself in a certain way that may not always feel good. But that's where the compassion and the lack of shame, but taking accountability for the things that you must. To take accountability for yourself is a power move for real. Because it's easy to just distract. It's easy to spiritual bypass and say, oh, I'll just cloak it with something else. I'll distract myself in another way. So the original sin, quote unquote, that system fears union for real. Union, not just, again, like not between just man or woman. And I feel like I'm high right now as I'm talking. I feel like my head is light. I feel high. Oh, like a head high. Um, yeah, not just like romantic partner union, but like unity in general. So a divine pair, they'll mirror heaven on earth, because again, divinity represents a higher source of energy, the heaven. Heaven, as they say, the kingdom of God is within self, it's within the mind. So when you reach that higher consciousness, the crown, it makes me think of Christ energy, Christ consciousness, the crown chakra, the crown, the heart chakra also is a portal to Christ consciousness, because they often, when they depict Christ, they depict him with the sacred heart, with the thorns, and the thorns represent the crown. Um, some people, they say that it's like the pineal gland or something with the secretion of your brain or something like that. Like that's what the crucifixion represents. But in this instance, and again, that number 3, Christ is often attached to the number 3, the number 33. But when you reach that higher consciousness within your mind, it is a bridge between heaven and physical realm. So that's why it challenges, because in order to even experience a divinity of love means that you would have to be open and receptive to that. You would also have to be conscious in the mind, because it is, when they say love is a choice, it is a choice, just as love or hate is a choice. So when you choose love actively, you have to crucify the ego to love a person, not just romantically, because we skip that step. Most people don't understand what divine love is, because they're only focusing on the romantic side of love, the passion, the sex, never the actual core truth of the person, and allowing that person to see the core truth of you. And because it requires vulnerability to even allow a person to see your heart, to see who you really are, to unmask that. So yeah. So any type of connection, when you get into a divine union, it is going to expose the illusion of separation. It is within the system that depends on divisive energy, to keep people enslaved mentally and emotionally, and above all else, spiritually. So, quote unquote, the end times, high frequencies are going to clash with the lower ones, because we are in the age of revolution, or I mean, well, yeah, technically, I meant to say revelation, but hey, revolution, yeah, revelation versus what's deceptive. So these connections, they are going to be like the frontline soldiers, not just love, not just lovers. The love frequency is the thing that breaks the spell of loneliness, depression, despair, all these tools that are used to weaken the collective's power for real, to keep us enslaved, and energy of fear, things like that. So they'll try to combat and fight back with more, distractions such as cultural trauma bondings. They'll um, emotional vampirism, a collective, feeding off of people's energies. They'll use things like misinformation, especially about divine connections and counterparts. I'm telling y'all, I really believe this. And someone kind of like sparked this for me. I had this conversation with a woman a few years ago about this, and she was like, I feel like the whole twin flame agenda, like they took something that was divine and they kind of inserted this thing, and they put these toxic traits in it that they know that people will identify with, because if you're unhealed and you deal with trauma, you're going to resonate with that. You're going to resonate with the love bombing stage. You're going to resonate with somebody that pulled away from you, that quote unquote is running, and it keeps you in the loop. I really truly believe that some of that is very it is a demonic infiltration. It's false information to say that this is what a divine union looks like. I feel like they took something that was real and true, feed off of that, because in essence, people really do want to experience a true love. They want to feel accepted and embraced just in general, not just romantically. When you add in the trauma aspect of it, we're going to trauma bond with those experiences and say, oh, well, that matches because that's what I'm dealing with. But what you're dealing with is not a real relationship. It's not a real connection. It's a false connection. And that's why I cracked that shit. I cracked that energy, that code years ago when I said, I've experienced this with a lot of people. If you can debate me and say that this one person is the only one that made you feel like that, you mm-mm. You might have experienced certain aspects of it. And I feel like people that really understand divine connections, they are able to discern certain things. They understand, like, yes, sometimes a person will be scared. You got to think about it like this. And I sit with this as well. If you were to meet a person that was your soul's mate, I'm talking about your soul, that was a mate to that, and you met them in physical form, and you just, it probably only takes you, like, you could be on a dating app, or you could be on social media and come across your person and like feel like, whoa, like energy just come over you. And some people have that powerful effect on them where they will jolt souls and spirits to awaken. And some people might take that as, I'm in love with this person, or that's my person. But no, sometimes people just have that. Some people have powerful energy to awaken souls. um and if you were somebody that, if you believe in past lives, because I do, I believe that if you were somebody of high influence, that a lot of people will resonate with your frequency and feel a connection to you, which is why it's always important to discern, why do you feel connected to certain people, and don't just jump the gun and say, oh, that's my person, that's my divine counterpart. Signs and synchronicities are languages and codes of the universe to get our attention. They don't only exclusively happen in divine connections. So just because you met a guy or girl and you like them and now you're seeing signs and synchronicities, that does not mean they're your divine counterpart. You will have spiritual experiences when you encounter any person in this planet. It's just up to you to discern why, what is it that spirit is speaking and saying to you. What are the signs saying and showing you, rather than just going, oh, that's my person, I saw this, I seen this, I had this dream. Like, discern it first. Always discern what's coming through to you. Don't just jump it. But when you meet your person, it will be a shock of the soul, but I feel like it'll be more so of a calm and a peace and a knowing that that's him or that's her. And sometimes it may not always be that simple. Like, some people, they might have to experience the connection, and then it's like maybe not always this magical spiritual woo woo thing, but it's just like, this just makes sense, this just resonates, this soothes my soul. It's not something that you're trying to fight to understand, or you're trying to prove to yourself on a daily, or obsessing over it, um never feeling settled or at peace. That most likely is not a divine connection, because divine is knowing. It's a higher consciousness. So there is a level of, even if your soul hasn't, even if your conscious mind hasn't fully caught up with your soul, with your spirit, with your higher mind, it will. So yeah. So yeah, during these times of like quote unquote the end, the revealing times, every illusion is being stripped away. Like it is. Like I'm sure we can all attest to that. It is, especially around love. So divine unions that they demonstrate what it looks like when love can be weaponized for, light, or rebirth for sacred relationships or partnerships. Not just, it does not mean ownership or dependency. That's not what a divine love is. So, these connections become a living proof of that God designs, whatever God designed is bigger. It overrides that machine or that programming, you know. Um, so yeah. All right, enough talking. We're like an hour in, y'all. I hope nobody skips that because that's that's some information for you. Okay, don't skip that. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. I'm excited. No, let's tap in. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like an open message. Hmm. I feel there's somebody that has a strong, like their energy frequency is very open and high, ready, willing, very bright light. And one of the partners' energy is a little dimmed, not as bright, not as open right now, not, maybe they're not standing in their divinity or their light fully right now. They might be a little bit in a shadow energy, doing some shadow work. I feel like this person is clearing though. They might be on a pathway. Yeah, it's like they're walking up forward. They are yeah, they're walking forward upwards or towards. I feel like this card wanted to come out. Yeah, they are working towards like a higher. They're progressing. They're not degressing, they're progressing in their path, in their healing, whatever the shadow work is that they've been doing, they're doing that. I just heard S as in Sam. S. But yeah, this person is dealing with, like, they are trying to clear right now. That's what they're doing. One of the partners, one of you is you're glowing, your energy is bright, it's open, might be in a like positive energy, positive state, but we'll elaborate more into it. But let's see what spirit wants to say. All right, you got the Knight of Pentacles with steadiness, the Death card with transformation, limitation with the Eight of Swords, and tradition, Hierophant. So this kind of does pick up on what I was just saying. Actually, it's kind of crazy, but you got adventure with the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So this person, whoever the energy is I'm picking up, it could be you, could be your person, your divine counterpart. Keep an open mind when I say divine counterpart. Try not to focus so much on a person because it might block the clarity of the messages, because sometimes like who we think is our person may not be. So I would just encourage you to have a open heart, open mind, to discern and filter through like what you need to hear, and not put it, like try to compare it next to a person, if that makes sense. So you have steadiness, lay the foundation with discipline and routine. True success requires consistency. So there is someone here, and I do feel like it's a masculine energy because you have a lot of masculine cards. Um, Especially if your masculine is a Scorpio, is a Taurus, maybe even a Gemini. They're being reflected, yeah, most definitely if they're a Scorpio or a Taurus, because Taurus and Scorpio are the opposite signs, they're sister signs. So they could be confronted with something about their material, their physical world. They might be going through a change within their career. whether it's leaving a job, whether it's trying to figure out their path, their purpose, or what career they want to go towards. They might be feeling stuck where they are in this sense, questioning their spirituality, what's real. So they're going through a dark night of the soul for sure with the death card, the transformation card, whoever this energy is, because it could be you or it could be a person. Just kind of place it where it resonates with you. Scorpio here, yeah. Yeah, Scorpio season is going to be a very heavily reflective energy for you, but this is helping you to like check the battlefield of your mind with the limitation card. This is the Eight of Swords in this deck. And then the Hierophant. It's going to challenge a lot of steady beliefs that you had, if this is you or your person. So there is going to also be a strong faith or belief that also is birthed once whoever this person's energy is I'm picking up on gets past this limitation within their own mind. Because that's really what's going on. It's a battlefield in the mind. Spirit, divine source guide. Somebody has a person, their person's name starts with an S for sure. Like I can't escape that name. Something with an S. Something with the name Sam or Stevens. So I'm getting Steven or Stevens. Could be a last name, could be a first name, could be a middle name. Someone could be a junior because I'm getting so and so the second. So and so the second. Somebody's name could have correlations to the number 2 or something. No, I'm hearing Saint. I'm hearing September. Somebody likes Earth, Wind, and Fire, or they like that song September by Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that could be specific to somebody. And maybe quite literal. Somebody is born in September, but for some reason I'm more so leaning towards Earth, Wind, and Fire, or something with that song September is significant. So you have spiritual path and you have argument. So you guys are in 2 separate paths right now with your person. Someone is still in a place where they have to work through their energy. Like they're not in a healthy place to be in a union. So I do feel like the feminine energy in this collective right now is more so in alignment with their spiritual path. They're putting more of an energy, they're pouring more into it. More so this person right now is in a state of deconstructing a lot of things. So if they were to connect with you, it would be arguments, it would be just discord. You know what I mean? But we'll continue to tap in. That's just why I'm getting so far from this. But it says your spiritual aspects are calling out to you for deeper nourishment and attention, reminding you that the physical is just one part of your existence. This is a time to seek higher wisdom. But I also feel like this relates to your person. Like if you were to connect with them, and some of you guys, you are with your person, if you guys are in union or relationship with your person, married, engaged, cohabitating with each other, that there could be some arguments, because this person is understandably not in the same place with each other. So you might be showing them like, hey, there's more to life than what you've been pouring into, what you've been seeing. And they're just like, no, it's all about money. It's about this. You got to have this. You got to have that. And it's like, that's what it's given. And you got isolation at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, someone's in hermit mode. Someone is going through this dark night of the soul. Now, if you're in house with this person, you live with them, um, it could be like instances where this person just wants to be by themselves. They don't want to be bothered. So isolation, it says you put up walls, but your fortress may be turning into a cage. The more you withdraw, the harder it becomes to return. Do you truly want solitude, or are you afraid of what connection might bring? Yeah. Karmic ties is at the bottom. Some of y'all, your person, if you don't know them, this person could be dealing with some karmic energies that they need to cut cords with. Oh, wow, girl. 2nd of November, and the person in your mind was Sam. Wow. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit of digging in now, a little bit more. So I'm gonna ask a series of different things. Now, if y'all want a deep dive read of like divine counterparts, I'm your girl. Okay, I got you. You can book a reading with me. If you don't know like which one, I'll direct you to it. If you have any questions specifically, like what reading will resonate with you, I got you. But yeah, y'all can book with me. I'll leave my link in the description. Probably not there if you're watching it live at the moment, but if you come back for the replay, it'll be there. um so let's see, whoever is the feminine essence of this collective spirit, where is their energy at? Thank you, spirit, for your divine guidance, truth, and clarity. The feminine essence of this collective. Okay, you have restlessness, which is the 4 of swords in reverse. Crossroads, disagreement. Wow, the shadow energy may very well be the feminine's energy. Whoever resonates with that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Francis. Okay, so you have 4 swords in reverse with restlessness, crossroads with the 2 of swords, disagreement with the 5 of wands, celebration with the 4 of wands, and transition with the 8 of cups, bottom of the deck, harvest with the 7 of pentacles. So some feminines, yeah, y'all going through some shit right now. Yeah. But you're clearing. You're clearing. Some of you guys might feel like you're not getting enough sleep, even if you are sleeping a lot. You might feel tired at this time, overextended. Spirit is calling you to rest. Some of this is like rest your energy. You don't need to give too much of it away at this time. Like it's okay to say no to certain things. It's okay to sit certain things out. Some of you guys may not even be in the mood to want a date. That might not be where you're at right now. You don't want to deal with it. It's like a weird energy of going back and forth. Do I want this person? Do I not want this person? Or do I want love? Do I not want love? Do I want to date? Yeah, there's some sort of back and forth vibe I'm getting. Like spirit saying you're clearing, so don't worry about too much right now. Like let this energy, because there's something inside, like it's double-mindedness. You might be, oh yeah, shit. That karmic tie energy relates to this. Like you might be separating from people. That's part of it. That's how you know. I feel like spirit's creating a space in a room for divine connection to come in your life, or so that the divine connections with people that you already have in your life are a bit more potent and louder. And to tell you the truth, there's not many people right now, um but that's okay. Like spirit saying, like even if you have a small circle, you can see who's who. And some of you, it's you partnering with yourself for a time. Like you need this healing. Yeah, because I feel like you're having like a lot of disagreements and misunderstandings with people that are no longer in alignment with you, and you're not in alignment with them. So this is for the separation energy that needs to happen. Yeah. So that you can make space for union with the celebration card. This is the 4 of wands in this deck, bringing in more harmonious energy in your field, in your like community energy. So this is an energy and time of release. You know, you've been doing the work. Like I said, this is progression. So I feel like the energy I was picking up on when I was channeling, that's you. If you're a feminine energy, I'm gonna just clarify one more time. Blessing in disguise. So this needs to happen. What feels like a loss or failure is actually a blessing in the grander scheme of things. Though the meaning of this moment may still be unclear, its purpose will ultimately be revealed in time. So, yeah, this is a blessing in disguise. Whatever this separation, this clearing, um, this is what needs to happen. So, let's tap into the masculine energy in this collective. Some of you guys might be healing from a heartbreak. That Three of Swords is peeking out. Oh, heartbreak of like people that you care about or you thought were for you. It's yeah, see, the masculine ready for that, ready for the love. They ready for the love. Now, some of you might be operating in, whether you are like the most girliest of girly, you might resonate with a masculine energy where you're at, where you might be more in your, more charged, more creative energy, where your person, even if they are the most masculine person, might be operating in their femininity, where they actually need to be in an energy of receptivity to introspect and go within. So that might, you know what I'm saying? So you don't get too confused. Like, you could be operating more in your masculine than usual, and they could be operating in their feminine where they're going within. So place your energy where it resonates, because one of these is someone's energy, unless none of it makes sense, and it may not be your reading right now. But you got deceit with the Seven of Swords, new beginnings, Ace of Wands, creation with the Empress, new love, Ace of Cups, legacy, Ten of Pentacles, generosity, Six of Pentacles, balance with the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like this energy, this collective, this whoever this partner is, they're very busy with creating something for themselves. Like, they're very focused. They might be keeping it to themselves. They may not be telling a lot of people what they have going on. But they're trying to create something new for themselves. This person is thinking about long term. If you're in a partnership with this person, a beautiful connection, but it's going through a bit of a challenge because one of you individually is kind of working through your own season right now, I feel like somebody's planning to solidify this. Like, there could be an energy of marriage. Um, Now, this is not for everybody, but I do feel like someone is planning to lock shit down. Like, they're thinking about this. This is when you're thinking about your future plans, or when you're ready to go out and buy a ring, or you're ready to have that talk about, let's do it. Now I'm hearing Jagged Edge, let's get married. I'm hearing, okay, what's the part? What's the part? It's the part where they said, I'm ready to commit to you. It's that part. That's the energy I'm picking up on. So somebody behind the scenes, like if you're in a union already, you're in relation with your person, living together or separately. Someone could be from Italy, or someone that's a plan. Someone wants you to meet their family in Italy. If your person is Italian, maybe even half Italian culture, there's something with wanting you to meet them. And I'm getting Spain as well, like wanting you to take you back to their motherland. That's what I'm hearing. They want to take you back to their motherland, Italy. Interesting. Okay. Someone's thinking about long term, like their inheritance, ancestry, their roots are very important to them. Some of you guys could be interracial couples too. Um, or you are going to be from two different cultures, which is important to this union because it bridges the gap of this divisive energy. Uh yeah, that's interesting. Somebody's ready for love. And if this person is single, you're single, or you guys have never met yet, this person wants that. That is on their mind. They're creating a space or realm for legacy. Look, come on. Y'all see that? I'm ready to commit to you, and I just can't wait for the night. And I need you here with me. So let's start a family. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I heard. Like that line. Don't make fun of my singing, but that's what I'm hearing. That part specifically. So it says the lovers, and it's number 2. How about that? How about that? I feel Number 2 is talking about 2027. Now I know, Francis in the chat, you said November 2nd is important. Um, but I really I'm strongly get like take it as a resonance, but I'm strongly getting like the 2 represents 2027. So that's when that's a emergence of a lot of unity, a lot of divine partner connections, solidifying, coming together, meeting, marriages, things like that, birthing, couples, speaking, power couple energy, 2027. So it says love is offered as a gift, but it's the choice to embrace it that gives it power. When you choose to open your heart to love, you unlock a deeper sense of meaning, even in the smallest moments. You guys could be a tatted couple. I just noticed like a couple of cards prior to this, there were some tatted people. So you guys could be tatted, okay? Or you guys have tattoos. And the 2 Pentacles, like, okay, we're done talking about me. What about the Knight of Swords, though? The Knight of Swords is action in this deck. Someone is ready to take action in their love life, or someone's very active in the shift and the change of their life. They're making space and room for their person. I feel like consciously, but not letting it be known. They're not telling people, oh, I want my person. I'm craving my person. I want my one. Someone here could even be creating a space for their, I'm getting like the divine feminine energy. Like I'm going to create a space for them. Um, a space for them that's safe, that I don't know, because some of you guys literally could also be creators. Your person could be a creator, both of you guys are, where I see something very specific. Like if you're somebody that, let's say you create music, you have a music room, this person would probably want to create a studio for you. If you are an artist, painter, drawer, they want a space, like they would create a space for you. If you're like, a tarot reader, they want a table for you, you know um they want to create a room and space or something, or a garden space or something for you, where they know that that's what you're into. Or maybe they don't know you yet, but for those that know you, this is in their mind, this is what they want to do. You guys are in a relationship, they want this. They maybe think about a house and like what rooms in it. But for some reason I'm getting like the person that doesn't know you and you don't know them yet, they even have this in their mind, to the point where like they're thinking, I wonder what my partner likes. Like I would create a room, or even if it's a backyard, like they have their future person in mind already. Like they may not have a face or a name, but it's like the essence. Just like you would want to create a nursery for your baby room. That's what it's giving. Like they're planning this. Yeah. Some of you guys might have a baby girl. Some of you, that could be in the plans. All right. Where you going? Where you going? Okay. So I'm gonna ask like the divine, your ancestors, your divine team, like where they're at with all of this, their perception of this. Um, there is like an energy of protection. So let's ask the question. The ancestors, divine source, God, like, is this person in question that they're asking about, where is their mental integrity lie at this time? Where does their mental integrity lie at this time? Compassion, the Queen of Cups, like they're holding space, they're open. Yeah, they feel like it would be a blessing to have, you know like if let's say, I'm hearing like a good man is a blessing, or a good woman is a blessing. Like that's something, like they would look at, you know they see other divine feminine or divine masculine energies as blessings. Like I'm winning, or these are people that you want to have in your corner, even if it's not for a romantic sense. That's what I'm getting. some of these people, they may not fully understand your energy or your light, like your presence sometimes, but it's like they're willing to learn because there's something different about you and this person maybe than what they're used to. So, they'll respond to your essence, your light, your energy from a place of like, um, I'm learning about you, I'm trying to understand you, it's not from a place of pushing you away or fearing what they don't know. They see a lot of potential of growth by trying to understand who you are. Like, as partners, I feel like, or people that care about you, they want to know about who you are. They want to understand you better, to love you better, to support you. Yeah, your ancestors, I feel like they're fond of this person. Divine Spirit is fond of this person, obviously, because they're your person. The energy I'm picking up on doesn't necessarily have to be the person you have in mind. But if it is, even furthermore, divine couples that are already in union, they feel like this connection, there's a perfect blending of energies. Even if you guys are from different cultures or something like that, they fuck with this connection, I feel like. Okay, so they might have a little bit of anxiety. Your person, your divine team doesn't feel like they're fully ready to build what they say that they're building or want to. There's still some things that your person needs to work through mentally. There's certain things that have not been fully grounded or implemented. I feel like some goals your divine team is saying is it's a little fantasy, not always rooted in truth. Um I feel too like someone here, somebody's person definitely is a water sign for sure. Like Scorpio, could very well be Cancer as well. I was getting Gemini, um, as heirs, and then like Earth signs, but that doesn't mean that nothing else resonates. Like it could be placements in a person's chart. Yeah, there's certain things like that your divine team spirit is saying is like whatever it is that is desired or wanted is not all the way rooted, you know. There's still some energy that's kind of up in the air, kind of just idealizing more than it is structured. So you have Master of Destiny and malicious sorry, not malicious, miraculous luck, and then fruits of your labor. So someone is, it's a good momentum that's happening here. I feel like there's somebody that's on the right track energetically, rather than not, rather than not. So you're not in the mercy of fate, but conscious creator of your destiny. Stop waiting for a sign. You are the sign. Miraculous luck. Fate smiles upon you, aligning the stars to open a path of unexpected fortune. This moment is a gift, a reminder that even the darkest time, the universe can send sudden blessings. And then fruits of the labor, like someone's efforts and work. It is going to be. It's going to these. This connection is going to come together. In other words, it is going to come together, but I feel like it's still like this wiggle room to ground the energies a bit, to sort through. It's almost like buy self some time because one partner is not even in the space right now to fully implement new energy or to meet their person yet. If this is like a situation where that hasn't happened, um, it's not time. So it gives the other person time to ground their desires, their goals, their visions. Does that make sense? To figure out like if some of this is leading from a place of healthiness or is this like from a place of fantasy, wounding, desperation. It's like it gives them time to sort through what they want, what they desire. So I feel like spirit does really like this person. They feel like this connection will bring unity rather than divinity. They do feel like they respect the divine feminine or the divine masculine energy. um this person may not fully understand you in the beginning, or they're learning to understand you. There's this energy of I want to learn. So Let's see what else. Where does Spirit want you to place your focus at this time? The viewer, where does Spirit want you to place your focus at this time? Where does Spirit want you to place? Okay. Reconciliation, the 5 of Swords in reverse. Luxury, 9 of Pentacles. Good luck with the Wheel of Fortune. Limitation, again, with the 8 of Swords. And nurturing with the Queen of Pentacles. Disagreement at the bottom, which is the 5 of Wands. So there could be some people that Spirit's saying to make amends with. Now, only if, like, let's say this could be parents, siblings, maybe family or friends, connections, but it has something to do with they are contributing to your growth, not take it away. Spirit's not saying to take people back, but I feel like it's more so like Spirit wants you to forgive. Forgive who you need to forgive. Forgive who you need to forgive. And it doesn't mean accepting them back into your life. So yeah, they also want you to focus on creating or building a space of peace for yourself, whatever that looks like. Some of you guys might be guided to change something about your environment, switcheroo. Like sometimes it feels good to change, like switch up your furniture, change your room around, change your living room around, renovate something, do something different, maybe incorporate more feng shui in your home, like contribute to that, aromatherapies, something where it gives you a sense of peace, and spend some time outdoors if you have a backyard, like sit sometimes outside or take a walk and pay attention to nature sounds, like sit with yourself, like the birds. Sometimes I like to just sit and listen to the birds, like just let them talk, let them cook. And they be out there, they be talking. Sometimes it's really pleasant just to hear that. You're very welcome. Thank you. I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate that. Yeah, so if you focus on your blessings, the energy of gratitude of things that you already have, like root yourself back down to, see what you do have. Anytime you kind of escape and kind of lose your ground and can't see, see the positive things, to ground back into gratitude. Because something is shifting for you, but it's like you have to contribute with the flow into this. So whatever it is, like any negative thoughts that, have you feeling stuck or restricted, not being able to see past where you are, um, use this grounding energy. Make peace with the past and let it go. You know what I'm saying? And it's time to nurture and give back to yourself. It's time to give back to yourself, your energy. Self-expression. You carry within you a message, an idea, or creation that is not just for you, but for the world. Express yourself boldly and authentically, knowing that your gifts are meant to be shared. So, yeah, there's something that you have to offer to the world as well. And like going back to purpose and things like that, you have to connect to you, your identity, your truth, what gives you joy, what gives you peace, what you feel most alive. Like, don't throw that away. Okay. So I'm going to ask, what does your divine partner want you to know? What do they want to say? How, um, their essence or higher self that allows me to tap in, or that will allow me to tap in, because it might sound weird if you don't know your person yet, you haven't met them or whatever. So you might be like, okay, that's kind of weird. But this collective that is present, that aligns, this collective I'm speaking to, their other part, their half, their divine or their greater whole. Let's not say half. Let's say their divine complement. Where is this person's like truth lie with this? What they want the collective of the viewer to know? Okay. Passion, confidence, and nostalgia. Sadness. Now, if you have not met your person, you don't know who they are. I feel like your person is like, they have a lot of passion for you. They know that you exist. They feel very strongly about, like, they know that they will be an excellent partner, excellent mate to you or to any person. Like, whoever their person is, like, they know, like, when I meet my person, when we get together, I know, like, they're gonna be a lucky, but like they know that they something. They know. They're very confident about this. Like they know that they'll be a wonderful partner. Like um to a person, they'll be a wonderful parent or whatever. They know, they have this confidence. But they're longing. It's like something that it could have been an experience that they had. Like maybe they think about their first love and it makes them nostalgic. Like, dang, I want to feel that again. But not so much like the person. They're not really so much like fixated on a person, but they're fixated on like, damn, like I wish I could feel that love again. Like I miss like having butterflies. I wish crushing on somebody. I miss like, that initial spark or that kiss. Like they're thinking about this. Now, if this is a person that you are with, you're with your divine counterpart already, they have a lot of passion for the future. They're confident about that you guys are going to be able to create something, and they do think about the past, like when you guys first met, and that could be what's leading this person to, I feel like, want to lock it down, because I don't get, this is just a hypothetical thought for most of you. Maybe this person is thinking about it, where someone is like, they ready to do it, like they want to lock this down. The sadness card at the bottom, um they might be saddened because if this is a connection where they're the one that's in the more so in a higher positive space, they might be sad because they know that you're growing through something. I did pick up something with job losses, something with finances, maybe deconstruction of certain connections, things like that, so they can identify that you might be sad in that way. And if this is the opposite, this person is going through a lot of sadness. They want this love. They feel it. They sense it. They want, it's like they want that romance back in their life. They miss it. They miss having a person, or they miss like, the beginning stages. They want something to be recreated again. So this is what they want to tell you. They want to tell you, yeah, that they are very passionate, very committed to sharing their life with you, whether they know of you yet or not. Like they know, like my person is out there. They exist. He or she exists. This is what I want. I'm confident that I can provide that, that I could be that. And I want to feel like that puppy love. I want to, some of them might say, like, I want to experience that old school love. Now, this may have not been something that they ever had. Let's say, like, as a kid, they were used to listening to like the 90s music, or they have nostalgia, like the 80s energy, or a time where they felt like love was really beautiful. It could be like a historical time period that they're thinking about where they like romanticize it, or it could have been like the poetry or the poems or the storytelling that they kind of like, I want to experience that. This person has a um very active imagination. This person is very romantic, very passionate, very sensual, very sexual. It screams, I'm just getting like Scorpio so hard, or like some placement of Scorpio. Um, my seventh house is in Scorpio, so I kind of get what this motherfucker coming from, like their energy. If they're not a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, or maybe even Venus, they might have a Scorpio seventh house, because that's what it's given. Um, yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see, what else you need to know. Okay, so let's tap out of that. I'm just gonna ask you like what signs, you need to be looking out for, what they might mean. Then we'll get in what you're calling in, what you're manifesting, and then I'll get some affirmation and advice for you. And again, if you guys would like to book me for a personal reading, I do divine counterpart reads. You don't have to have a person in mind yet. You could be someone that is waiting for your person to manifest, okay? But if you guys want to book with me, I will leave the link in the description for you. If If you have any questions about my services, I will be more than happy to assist you what you need, okay? Because we can go in where it's more personalized and we're tapping into your personal situation a little bit more, because collective readings can resonate, yes, but they're not quite always there fully because it's tapping into the collective, you know. All right, so let's see. Any signs, synchronicities, messages from the divine to pay attention to in regards to divine connection or anything going on in your life that's of relevance and importance. Okay. So like there's some things, like there's some secrets that they want to share with you. Your energy, I don't know, it's like maybe going over your head, or you're just not seeing it, or you're noticing things but you just don't know where to place it. Okay. So you have interference and healing with love at the bottom of the deck. They do have angel numbers. Let's see if we can get one. No. Okay, let's see. Is there any angel numbers? Expansion, despair, friend, fear. 444. Okay. All right, so 444 with protection. Now you are going through a lot of releasing right now and healing, where it could be something with friendship where you feel alone, or you feel alone with support. Maybe you feel like you don't have anyone, and it might not be necessarily true. It could just be like where you're at. You might feel this, but you're going through a period of expansion. You have to face the fears. It's not going to be easy, because you don't want these things to be an interference and blocking to your union. And at the bottom of the deck, you have waiting. So they are encouraging you to pay attention to. Is it done? Is it dry though? No.
It's a little. It's all the way dry.
Okay. All right. So, hold on. My sister just gave me my comforter. It's not fully dry, but it's thick. I hate thick comforters sometimes because it takes a lot to get them fully dry. So yeah, but you have this energy here. The spirit is trying to show you, give you the clarity, like all is well. It's okay. Like you're divinely covered. You're protected. We're surrounding you. We're shielding you. We're removing the necessary energies that need to be removed, and we're showing you the necessary things that you need to remove, or that you are clearing out, because you don't want it to be an interference and a block. And we're calling you to be in this patience of waiting. Okay, now is not the time for certain things, and it could be now is not the time for love or romance. Like we want you to get rid of this energy first. Okay. So the healing, it says, a situation that once brought pain is now transforming into an opportunity for renewal. Even if healing is not instantaneous, take peace in knowing that the process has begun. You might see a lot of birds, like interesting birds. Some of you guys might have dreams of like strange creatures, could be having dreams of dragons. I don't feel like they're anything to fear. The interference card, energetic interference, occurs when you absorb emotions, thoughts, and frequencies that do not originate from you. Take a moment to reset. What is yours will feel empowering. What isn't will dissolve when released with grace. So it's like, yeah, you're filtering through these energies. Like this is something that maybe these fears came from projections, from things you've experienced through life, things that were told to you, things that you see. It's like you're filtering through this energy to release it. Um, Despair, it says losing touch with your divine nature can cause you to be overwhelmed with heavy emotions. Though the outer world may seem to be the cause, these dense energies are often the echo of inner disconnection from your sacred self. So some of you guys really do need to, prayer is everything. Prayer, connecting with the divine, the universe, like get back in tune, get back in touch. Because sometimes when we feel that detachment from self, from life, it's because we've lost that connection with source. Not fully like it's lost, like it's something that is completely severed, but it's like we're not tapping into it, we're not acknowledging it. You have friend, you are not alone, whether in the spiritual realm or in the physical realm. A true friend is entering or already present in your life, offering compassion and support. So you are not alone. You do have energies around you that already love you and protect you in the unseen, but also in the physical. Instead of paying attention to that does not, or whom that does not appreciate you or see you or support you, you know what I mean? Even though it might hurt a little bit, that's human. You have fear. Fear distorts your actions, making you act from feelings of powerlessness and limitation. Recognize when you are acting from fear and consciously choose love instead. If you ever spiral, hug yourself. Might sound a little weird, might sound corny, but like tap back in and connect. Or call out to the divine team that loves you where you feel their presence. Like anchor yourself back into love, anchor yourself back into the heart. Expansion, it says you are being entrusted with more, both energetically and physically. Prepare to gain new territory and step into roles of greater responsibility and influence. What is arriving in your life is a reflection of what you are now capable of holding. So, whatever you're going through right now, it is necessary. You're clearing, you're making space, you're making room because you are growing, you're expanding. As I always say, if something feels tight and uncomfortable, that's because that is a sign you've outgrown it. You don't fit there anymore. So pay attention to anything with birds, phoenix birds, maybe eagles, doves, dragons, fours, or literally 444. Something with Archangel Michael. I'm getting to a thunderbird could be significant too. All right, so let's see what you're calling in, and then we're gonna get an affirmation and advice for you. All right. This deck does have shadow energy, so just be mindful. What is the collective manifesting and calling in at this time? What is it that they are manifesting and calling in at this time? Okay. These are shadow cards that came out. So the difficult way and the toxic environment. So under this energy, like Spirit is saying, be mindful. Please be mindful. Limiting beliefs. Yeah. Do not block yourself. I keep getting this energy like you don't want to repeat a cycle. um Another 9 to 10 year cycle of repeating the same things, because next year is our clean slate. I feel like we have to destroy and deconstruct. Sometimes it might be forced upon us, and it's a collective thing. It's not just individually, but individually, like you are that spark of change, so it starts with self. Do not make things difficult for yourself. Okay, you have your approach might get you to your destination, but definitely not to the easiest way to get there. Reevaluate your plans and determine where you might be making things unnecessarily difficult for yourself. Then you have toxic environment. A toxic atmosphere may be interfering with your ability to focus on your goals and attract positive outcomes. The energies around you influence your thought and emotion. Choose relationships and spaces that inspire and support you. That's Spirit is not going to place nothing blessed and no mess. You can't have new things when it's a cluttered space. There's no room for it. You have to clear out. You have to declutter in order to make room for new things in your life. Limiting beliefs. Your beliefs shape the world around you. Old narratives of lack, fear, and doubt may be blocking the abundance and love you desire. Recognize these limiting beliefs as illusions that are sorry, that no longer serve you, and embrace the truth of your limitless potential. Okay. Something Spirit is wanting you to release and remove and get out of your life. Okay. Internally and in an environment. Love is going to come more smoothly than what you expect. It's not going to require as much effort as you think it does. And I feel like that's programming from like, this false perception that sometimes that we can have, that we got to perform for love. We got to look a certain way. We got to be a certain way. But when it comes to divine love, if it's your person, it's your person. Um, Yeah, because I feel like for some of you, your person loves you for you. When this person initially met you, or when they do meet you, because some of you are with your divine counterparts and some of you haven't met them yet. That's the group that I feel like I'm picking up on. Um, they had this knowing, like they already had love for you. And this isn't like a lustful type of passion, romantic type of energy. This feels like a love. It's pure. Like I already loved you. I already fucked with you when I saw you. Like it's something. It's already there. You know, it's something that's already rooted in the heart. So whatever you're thinking, like, oh, I gotta be this and I gotta be that and I gotta look like, when it comes to your person, when they see you, they already have love. It's like when you give birth to your child, kind of in a sense. Not the same type of energy, but in a way, like when you give birth to a child, when a mother first looks at their baby, they're already in love. That love was already there. It was already inside of them. So when it's like, I love this. This is my baby. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. And it's not gonna be love bomb like, oh, I'm in love with you when they first meet you, you know what I'm saying? Or like, oh, I'm so in love. Like you might be scared, like, what the fuck? Like what you on? Like, no, we just met. It's not that. It's just like somebody that just fucks with you. Like, you know, I don't know, like when you meet people like friends or like y'all just hit it off right away. But you still have to learn to get to know each other. Like you still are building something. But it's a click, it's a bond, it's a vibe already. It's like you don't gotta do too much. It's like we just fuck with each other naturally. You don't have to be fake with me. You don't have to perform. You don't have to hide. You don't gotta do this. You don't do that. Be yourself. And that's what's going to like save a lot of you in love is like the less you perform, the better, because it gives that person the opportunity to see if this is it or not. And it gives you the opportunity, like, as long as people are hiding who they are and stuff like that, you don't give each other the fair chance to decide or to see if this is aligned or not. But you know, like the good thing is like as long as you're being authentic, it will eliminate who's not for you because they won't vibe with it, but it'll also gravitate the right ones to you that actually see you for you, you know, that like the vibe, you know. So let's get an affirmation for you and we'll close this thing on out now. We're going to close this on out. Thank you, Spirit, Source, God, our angels, our ancestors, divine counsel, our highest selves, our divine counterparts, their teams, their angels, their ancestors, their higher selves, their counsel. We thank them as well for their guidance, their wisdom, their love. We thank you for the divine protection that surrounds us in any space or timeline that we are in. What is the guidance? Or just affirmation. Okay. 3 cards. You got clairaudience, elimination or illumination, and harmonic home. These are beautiful cards. They're so beautiful. Look at these cards. It says, I am attuned to timelines beyond my current reality, allowing me to receive divine insight from the eternal now. I am attuned to timelines beyond my current reality, allowing me to receive divine insight from the eternal now. Okay, I feel like this is to trust your intuition. Trust what spirit is revealing to you. We have elimination. I open myself to greater awareness, knowing that the mysteries of the universe mirror the truths within me. I open myself to greater awareness, knowing that the mysteries of the universe mirror the truths within me. And it looks like Bassett or Bass, however you want to pronounce her name. Lastly, harmonic home or harmonic home. I am divinely guided to live in a space that nurtures my spirit and supports my highest evolution. I am divinely guided to live in a space that nurtures my spirit and supports my highest evolution. That is important within self and externally in your environment to have a space that nurtures your spirit and supports your highest evolution. That's a beautiful affirmation to have. Bottom of the deck, spiritual guidance. I attune to the frequency of my highest self and spirit guides, receiving truth and clarity from beyond the physical world. Your ancestors and your divine team want to talk to you, and you got information at the end of after this card too. So I'm connected to the cosmic web of wisdom, discovering knowledge and information in perfect flow and timing. So you have all that you need. You have access to it, and spirit will give it to you, reveal it to you in a way that you need it, and when you need it, how you need it. Okay. So be receptive. Okay. All right, y'all. That was the reading. I hope y'all enjoyed this. It was pretty lengthy, but we got through it. We got there. So yeah, y'all take care. Okay. Like I said, if you guys would like to book your own divine counterpart connection reading, we'll go ahead and deep dive in that. Or if you are suspecting someone is yours, or if you want to tap into your essence of your part, like we gonna do it. We're gonna get it. Okay. So yeah, book with me. You guys like can. The next couple of weeks, my schedule is gonna be a little hectic, a little crazy. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for the good vibes, the good energy, the love, keeping it cute. Thank you. Make sure you guys like this if it genuinely resonates. Send it to someone you feel like may resonate with it as well. And you're very welcome. Thank you. I receive it. Sending positive vibes your way as well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for interacting with me in the chat. So y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your night, your day, your evening, wherever you guys are in the world. Until the next one. Peace.